Today I'm going to tell you about the problems with women's only self-defense training. So I was recently asked if I teach women's only self-defense classes, and I thought, hey, this would be a good topic to discuss, not just for women, but also for you guys. So first off, why would a female want to train in a women's only self-defense class? Well, obviously they'd feel more comfortable without any men there, and also they probably assume that the techniques taught are going to be more specifically applicable to work against men. And those are both completely legitimate ideas. However, I'm going to share some of my perspectives and experience on the matter. First off, ladies, you must be prepared emotionally to fight against a man. And to be prepared, you must actually train against a man. If the idea of being pinned to the ground by a man freaks you out in a controlled training environment, can you imagine how bad it would be if you were, God forbid, if it happened in real life? That is why you want to put yourself in that position in a safe training environment so that you can desensitize yourself to the experience. There's going to be plenty of other good reasons to freak out if you're attacked. Let's desensitize you to as many of them as we can. Next, ladies, you must experience working against a guy's size and strength. What might work against another female may not work when you add 50 pounds and quite a lot more strength and bone density. Now, I have actually had several of my female students defend themselves in real life against men. I'm going to briefly tell you about one of them. I had this one particular gal, and she was taller and bigger than her male attacker. Yet she told me that his strength was and explosiveness were dramatically greater than her own. And she was a strong gal. She lifted weights and everything. Now, she fought like hell, and she ended up winning, thank God. Now, luckily for her, she had probably about a year of training under her belt at that point, and her training had been almost exclusively with men in my Jeet Kune Do classes. Next, real self-defense is the same for a man and a woman. The only thing that would change would be use of force. For example, from a legal perspective, a woman is definitely going to be more justified in using a self-defense weapon if she's attacked by a man. Whereas a guy would need to be attacked by overwhelming odds, multiple attackers, a way larger guy, perhaps an elderly gentleman defending himself against a younger attacker. But when it comes to how to fight, there are better and worse targets, and there are better and worse ways to fight. And if a martial arts school is not choosing these better targets and these better tactics, then they're not teaching a good martial art. And guys, I want you to consider something. You probably want to fight the same way that a woman would fight, and here's why. If it's going to work for a female against a male, how much better is it going to work for you against another man? And by the way, here's a quick PSA to all the gentlemen out there. I have heard from many women that when they first start a martial arts or self-defense class, their boyfriend, husband, or brother will say something like this. Oh yeah? Show me what you learned. And of course, the gal's going to go in slowly and carefully so she doesn't actually accidentally hurt him. And he's going to reverse it on her and put her in some kind of hold to show that he is still the top alpha dog. Come on, guys. There are way better ways to show your gal that you're a real man. You know, like going to a bar and getting drunk and picking a fight with a random stranger because they like a different sport team than you. That's how real men do it. Guys, when you act like that, you make your gal feel defeated. And I'm going to tell you something. I want you to really listen in. You want the women in your life to be badasses. And here's why. Because if she's a badass, there are less things in life that can prevent her from coming home safely to you. So I encourage you to be her encourager. Okay, so I found this post out on the interwebs from a gal who had trained in Krav Maga for 2 years prior to going to a women's only rape prevention course. I'd like to share some of the lessons that she learned, and I think you're going to get a lot of value out of them. So she says, yesterday in the rape prevention seminar, I saw the fruits of my labor. There's nothing so humbling as a man who is far bigger and far stronger than you, taking you down to the ground hard and relentlessly trying to pin you down so you are helpless and at their mercy. It's at that moment where you either freeze or fight back. Previously I would freeze, but because of my 2 years of training, I fought back hard and well. Man, I love this. This woman recognized that if she's willing to put in the work, she can become someone different than she used to be. What an amazing lesson we can all learn. From fearful to powerful, from freeze to fight back. Awesome. She continues, as I watched the non-Krav trained students practice, my heart wrenched for them. I watched them cringe and submit. I watched them cower, and I watched them throw weak strikes. Considering it was their first time ever training, they did amazing. But if only they practiced consistently, a few hours in a single class isn't enough. Okay, I totally agree. While a couple of hours in some sort of a self-defense course, men, women, doesn't matter, it's enough to bring some awareness, but it's not enough to be good at defending yourself. I mean, self-defense is a skill, and like other skills in life, you need to practice it. You don't take a 2-hour language course and then suddenly you're able to speak a foreign language, right? You need regular ongoing training. Consistent training allows you to make progress. And progressing your skills, tactics, and mental toughness is what levels you up to be able to defend yourself against greater and greater threats. She continues, prior to the women's course, I had logged over 200 hours of martial arts training, hours of perfecting strikes over and over again, improving a bit more each time. That's how you do it. Hours of escaping holds, of learning how to target the weak points. Hours of practicing how to survive on the ground. Awesome. But it was also hours of building my mental strength to be able to stop freezing up and stop freaking out. It was hours of being forced into challenging positions and learning to keep my calm. It was hours of facing my fears by enduring them over and over again. It was hours of learning how to stand my ground instead of submitting. This is fantastic. What a great transformation. She is a rare person who is willing to put in the work and emerge a better version of herself. How about you? The last thing I would like to share about women's self-defense is really about your sense of self-worth. While our world is indeed becoming increasingly more violent, and it is indeed less safe than it ever has been, and unfortunately it looks like it's only going to continue getting worse, I am going to point out that in many cases, violence against women is done by someone that the woman knows. If you don't believe you're valuable, you will act unvaluable. You will allow people into your life who do not have your best intentions and will treat you as if you were without value. I have seen martial arts training be an entry point into improving one's self-worth, their sense of self-worth. Being around a community of encouraging people who treat you with respect while throwing punches at your face and trying to pin you to the ground, and experiencing the shared camaraderie of facing those challenges, I mean, that'll change you, and you're going to like who you become. So, to conclude, if you are serious about self-defense, learn from this gal. Begin training in a reality-based martial arts school and commit time to it. Who knows, you might make some new friends, build some discipline, and find a new, more powerful you in the process. If you're looking for a reality-based martial arts gym in Colorado where you can learn rapid assault tactics and Jeet Kune Do concepts, come check out Progressive Combat Systems. Like, subscribe, come train, and I'll see you next time.